Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here, another episode of Feed the Beast Infinity on Expert Mode. So at the end of my last episode, I had been setting up my Steve's Cart tree farm right here. I was having a little bit of problem with the configuration, which I have now gotten sorted. So basically, what I didn't realise is that you can actually change the sides in terms of what can be dumped into the inventory of the cargo manager and what gets put back in. So basically what I've got now is that on the green side, which is the one facing the advanced detector rail, we've got basically it will pull everything out of the storage slots and put it into the cargo manager, and then it'll basically put any saplings it needs to replant things back into the also I'm looking for the cart, which is pretty cool. So it's all running, got the coal in there. What I also found is that initially this was set to like all slots of the cart, so it was dumping out the charcoal. So basically just need to have it set to just storage slots only, so it will literally just dump the wood, the apples and the oaks in there. So I've now got a really good supply of apples, a really good supply of wood. Okay, now what do I actually want to do with this wood? So what I would like to do is actually take the wood and start to kind of burn it in some generators. Now the generators I'm going to use are the extra utilities ones, just because they're probably the easiest to make, and I think they generate about 40 RF per tick. So if we build a few of them, we'll basically be kind of, if we have two of them, they'll basically be running as well as the water wheel over there. So we can make like kind of anywhere between like 4 and 10, we'll be generating quite a bit of RF, which is quite nice. So first of all, what we need to do is actually kind of pull the materials out of the cargo manager and into initially probably some overflow storage barrels. So what we're going to need, what I'm probably going to use initially, is probably just the thermodynamics item ducts. Now these are fairly straightforward. These are tin plates, hardened glass and glass. Now the hardened glass we're going to have to make with pulverized obsidian and lead. So let me find some lead. There we go, plenty. And now we need some obsidian. So if we get, I don't know, like 7, I don't know how much this is going to make, but it should make a reasonable amount of hardened glass just for us to get going with. So if we make sure this is set to go out this way, so we want to pulverize the obsidian, so it'll go out into the induction smelter. We'll then put the lead in there, which should then make hardened glass, which is fairly straightforward. Okay, so it's making, so it's making 2 per recipe, which isn't too bad. What we also need is some tin plates. So I should have some tin in here. I do have a little bit by the looks of things. So I already made some. I can't remember, but we'll make up some more anyway, just to be on the safe side, just so we can make enough ingots, enough plates to make a few of the recipes. What am I on about? Making the recipe a few times over. That's what I'm looking for. We've got silver, tin, we've got more tin there, ferrous, invar. Just see if I have more tin knocking around. I also made a dev null. One of you suggested it a few episodes ago, but basically what this does is to make this. So if we have a look for dev null, wherever it is, here we go. So dev null is from open blocks. You craft it with a cobblestone and an apple. And basically what it does is that, say for example, we want to pick up, so say for example we're strip mining and we don't want to keep all the cobblestone that we are mining up. So let me just knock a few of these on the ground. So you see that cobblestone on the ground there? If we pick this up, it doesn't go into our inventory. The reason is it's basically been absorbed by this dev null, and what it does, it just kind of like wipes out any excess cobblestone that we pick up, which is kind of nice. So when we're strip mining, it just completely does away with any of the cobblestone, as we don't need it, as we've got unlimited cobblestone from our cobblestone generator anyway. So yeah, that's pretty neat. So I just decided to make one of them off camera. Now, how are our tin plates coming along? We've got 3 there, so we probably want some more. Let me go get some tin ore and process that up, I think, really quick. Would probably be a good idea. But yeah, we've got loads. Wow, we've got loads of tin ore. We've got like over a stack of the damn stuff, so we're not exactly short for tin right now. Let's watch the tree farm at work. It's cutting down the tree, which is pretty nice. I do like that. I do like the Steve's Cart tree farm. It does look pretty cool. I've never used one before. I've always really kind of been meaning to get around to one, and it's just been on my to-do list. And I finally thought, you know, with MFR being a little bit out of reach right now, why the hell not go and jump in and do some what's the word I'm looking for? Some Steve's Cart now. So let's grab that tin. Throw you into there. How's that hardened glass coming along? Okay, we've got 14 hardened glass, which is good. We should have enough to make at least a few item ducts here. Let's have a quick look. Item duct. So yeah, we've got hardened glass either side, tin plate either side, and then just ordinary glass. So I think the last thing we need here is just the ordinary glass. So let's find you. What I'm also looking for is a barrel, so I can actually store the wood in for now. We've got ordinary glass there, so let's make up some item ducts. So hardened glass either side, glass in the middle, and then tin plates. There we go. So we've got our first item ducts. So to actually use these correctly, we are going to need something else called a servo, and this is what's going to basically power the item ducts. So for this, we're going to need glass, iron, and redstone. That's really straightforward then. So let's grab the redstone, some iron, and then we just need to turn some of these into iron nuggets. So make it even, just so I'm not getting annoyed with... or should I have done it with... Invar? No, I can still do it with Invar actually. So let me get, so this, basically if we use Electrum or Invar, we're basically just increasing the speed at which things are extracted. So I might go for just hardened servos. So let me put the iron away for now then. Let's make a couple of hardened servos. There we go. Just so we can, just so they're a bit faster. Just means that we're not waiting around quite so long for things to be pulled out. Okay, so what I need to do now is first of all we're going to put the better barrel down, say like here. We can then plonk down the item duct like so. We'll then get some wood out and actually put you into the better barrel so it won't pull out things that we don't want it to. Then put the servo into there. Say redstone status ignore. Now is that going to start pulling things out? And we'll just... is it actually pulling anything out? Oh no, yeah it is. I can actually see it going. Look at that. So it is actually pulling out... I think it's supposed to be like 16 at a time. So we are now pulling out the wood, which is pretty good. If we put down kind of more jabber barrels, we could have things, one for like the apples and stuff as well. Okay, so that is that first stage done. So we need the hardened servo for later on when we actually set up the, what's what I'm looking for? Brain's gone completely fuzzy here. The actual furnaces and the engines, the generators, that's what I'm looking for. So next what we're going to need is we are going to need some redstone furnaces. So I'm going to make 3 of these, I think. So I've made... How are you getting along? Okay, so that's weird. Why is that decided to suddenly just stop halfway through? How bizarre. So basically I was supposed to be making 3 of these, but I think because I've logged on and off, it decided not to actually finish the machine frames, which is kind of annoying. But we can make 1 for now and just add in 1 or 2 later on, just to increase the speed at which charcoal is smelted. So we need to make the redstone furnace. So let me see what we've got here. So we need some bricks, some copper gear. So it looks like we actually need to make some copper. So if we grab 4 of you, I think, or 6. I don't know, we'll grab 6 just in case the machine frames are done by the end of the episode and we can add them on later on. But for now, we'll just, we got any tin here? We do have tin in here, so I'm going to pour you out while I smelt up the rest of this. Just so that it doesn't mix up and make bronze when we don't want it to. So just grab a random tin gear there for later on. Just made like 1 too many, I think, for when I was making machine frames, so... So we've got Invar, iron, lots of iron in here. Because I'm making iron gears, I must have been making iron gears because that's why I've got so much of the damn stuff in here. Really should make it maybe like a second smeltery at some point for mixes and stuff like that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, depending on how far I get with this series. I do need like lots of different gear, so I may have to come up with some kind of solution for having multiple smelteries for dealing with the automation of it. But let's pour out some... So this will only actually make 3 gears, and we need at least 2 per redstone furnace. So maybe I want a couple more copper ingots. Is that right? Yeah, copper ore. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. My God, my brain is just not working today. So let's pour you out. So we need at least 2 to get going with. So that'll make... That's 4 left in there. That won't make anywhere near enough, but never mind. We'll get started with the 2 that we need. So we can actually make 1 redstone furnace and then show you how the system's going to work. Okay, so now we need some bricks. Do we actually have any bricks left over from anything, or am I going to need to smelt some clay? I think I'm going to need to smelt some clay. So let's grab... I think that'll be enough. Is there anything else we're going to need? We need redstone and a redstone reception core. So we need at least 1 gold here to actually make the redstone furnace. Okay, so let's go to the redstone furnace and actually smelt you up. So we've got 1 here already, but this is for our ore processing, so we want to leave this as it is right now. So we're going to need 8 bricks altogether. I do like the fact that a lot of trees are being cut down here, which is pretty good. So we've got a nice supply of wood already, which is good for us. So yeah, eventually I want to be pulling out the apples and the oaks into kind of probably void barrels, just so we don't like overflow at any point and stop things being made. Okay, so we actually managed to get a second machine frame made here, so we probably want a few more bricks. So we'll get on that. We'll make the first one initially and then maybe go back and add the second one in later. But first of all, we need the bricks like so. Oh no, sorry, we need a redstone reception coil. There we go. And then finally, one redstone furnace. Okay, so where do we want this? So we probably want the redstone furnace. Just wondering if I want to have like the redstone furnace off to like the redstone furnace is like here, and then the generators maybe like around the edges, something like that. So what we need to do next is actually kind of put a pathway between. Let me get an axe out as well. Stone hatchet. That's what I'm looking for. So what I'm going to do is basically run item ducts from this barrel underneath here, and then I also need a shovel. Let me get that. Yeah, we're going to run item ducts right underneath. So let me just make sure that... Oh, that is done. Oops-a-daisy. Let me get the dirt back out. Put you back. There we go. So yeah, we'll run item ducts all the way from there, all the way over to the jabber barrel. No, not the jabber. Well, from the jabber barrel to the redstone furnace. We'll just run this over this way, and then we can just simply just add more item ducts when we get more of the... redstone furnace is ready. So we actually need to dig down another level so we can actually hide them all out of the way, just so we can keep things neat. Okay, so let me find the item ducts. So hopefully this will be long enough. So we need to pull you out of here. Let's also make sure that we've got the servo in place ready to go in a minute. Oh no, whoops a daisy. We also need the crescent hammer. So what I've just realised is that this needs to come down one more, like so. And there we go. So hopefully we've got enough here. Nope, we came one short. So we're going to need to find ourselves some more tin plates, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So we've got plenty of tin ingots now. Okay, that's fine. Oops, daisy. Apparently we're just throwing them all over the place. Let's make 6 just to be on the safe side. So we just throw it into there. Form you up. Let's get some more bricks as well. Although I'm... possibly need some more clay, because if I can make the second redstone furnace I may as well add it on now. So let's do all that while we're waiting. So let's grab clay is in here. There we go. May as well smelt up a few more just to be on the safe side, make a few more bricks, and then we may as well grab a couple more copper gears. Oh perfect, we actually did do enough. I'm quite surprised by that. I thought I'd done the ratios wrong there to make a second lot of gears, but apparently not. I thought it was going to be like too short, but somehow my brain must have actually worked correctly in my moment of madness and managed to produce the correct amount of copper to produce a second redstone furnace. Okay, so we also need a second bit of gold. There we go. So we can create another reception coil. That's what I'm looking for. Ah, yes, we're also going to need to power that. So what we're going to need is some of the LV wire connectors, and we're also going to need some treated sticks and a lot of copper. Now, do I have any copper? I do have copper knocking around, which is good. So what we're going to do is simply surround you with copper, which gets us the LV copper coils, which is what we need to power everything, basically. Okay, so let's go smelt up the clay so we can actually craft up some more, a second redstone furnace, which is what I'm looking for. And here is the tin plate, so we can actually make up a batch of what's what I'm looking for? Item ducts, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. So we just throw in everything like that. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, we're going to need quite a few more item ducts anyway to actually pump out the charcoal into the generators anyway. So, okay, so this should give us enough bricks to make ourselves 2 more like so. We need 1 redstone reception coil, and that will get us the second redstone furnace. Perfect. So I may as well set you up now. So that can go down there. So we'll then build you... oh no, we did not need to dig you up there. That was a bit silly of me, but never mind. Okay, so what we need to do now is make sure this is all configured correctly. So if we go... How do we want to do this? So what I probably want to do is have item ducts coming in from the bottom, which will be the wood, and then out to the top and round to the furnaces around the top. So we want in from the bottom and out from the top. In from the bottom, out from the top. Perfect. So what we can then do is actually set the servo to disabled, so we'll actually start pumping out wood into here. So we'll see if it's working. It is. Perfect. Look at that. We can actually see the item ducts moving. I usually use opaque ones, but for some reason I've actually gone for the non-opaque ones, which is a bit silly of me. So was it any cheaper? No, it wasn't. It's just lead instead of glass, which is actually probably slightly cheaper to use glass than it is lead, which means we can actually see things moving, which is kind of neat. So let's put everything back where it came from for now. So we can replace you. There we go. So that is now going to start. That will start smelting up. What's the word I'm looking for? We'll start smelting up wood once we power it. So what we need to do is actually, how are we going to power these? It's an interesting question, because I've just realised that I'm going to have to maybe power them from like here, and then how are we going to get this out? So we got one there. So let's have kind of like, I don't know, somewhere like here as an intermediary. How about like there? So we can then connect you to you, and then you to you. There we go. So they're all powered up. Ideally, I'd like it up high, but obviously I haven't got around to putting things up any higher at the moment. Is this clever enough to not actually pull out any wood that it can't actually fit into the inventory? Because if so, that's actually really cool. I did not realise it did that. Yeah, because it's only pulled out, like, say, one, rather than... Yeah, I did not know it did that. That's actually really clever. I thought it would just kind of keep pulling out wood, like, constantly, but apparently it hasn't. I've now got wires going everywhere, which I need to kind of rectify by actually finishing off the roof for this place at some point, but I just haven't got around to that yet. So let's sleep for the night, just so we don't have any mobs bothering us at any point during our construction. Okay, so the charcoal is now underway, so what we need to do now is actually burn it in something. So let's look for... generator. Actually, I think it's the furnace generator, isn't it? So Daisy, furnace generator. Here we go. Yep. So we can't make that's a high temperature one. We just want the ordinary one. And then if we actually want to put it together to make a big one, we need to make a transfer node. Okay, so we need something called a QED. Now, I've kind of seen that. The QED is some kind of like way of crafting up certain things and extra utilities, but we'll get around to that later on, I'm sure. Especially if we want to get kind of 64 times furnace generator, which requires a transfer node, which is a bedrockium ingot to get that. So I don't think we're getting that anytime soon. Okay, so what do we need here? Okay, so we need some redstone chipsets, so we may as well get them going first of all. So if we want to make a couple of these, then I should have realised that I needed some redstone chipsets to get this going, but never mind. So let's whack in some of these, so we get these powering up. Don't know how long these are going to take to craft. Not that long by the looks of things, which shouldn't be too bad. So while we're at it, we also need some invar. So we have iron already present in our smeltery. So I think because of that, we should be able to just throw in a couple of ferrous, which should net us some invar. And then we just need some invar gears as well. So let's throw some ferrous in, wait for that to melt down, and then we should be able to pour out some... Oh, we already have one invar, which is good. This should make a little bit more with the iron that's already in there, which is good. Let's pop you out. I've just realised I've been running around quite a bit. My Steve is getting hungry, so let's feed him with a hamburger. Delicious tofu hamburgers. Yeah, I like the fact that with Pam's Harvest Craft, you can basically substitute in tofu for like any kind of meat. So you can make hamburgers out of tofu, which is kind of defying the point of a hamburger, but hey-ho. So we'll grab ourselves some invar. I'll basically just keep topping this up when I have time to build more of the... What's what I'm looking for? More of the furnaces, basically. And I'll see how sustainable it is with the amount of redstone furnaces we're using and things like that. So... what are we waiting for? Oh yeah, we want to see if some of these redstone chipsets are available. We want to make at least one if possible. So that's still making up the second one at the moment. That's how we're doing here. So this is smelting up a pretty decent amount of charcoal in a short space amount of time, which is good. So what I also need to do is, I think with this furnace generator, I can only use blocks of coloured coal. It's what it seems to be implying. I've waited for this to flick through and I can't just see blocks of coal. Oh no, well, was just no blocks of coal. That's alright then. I thought I had to use the coloured blocks of coal, but it turns out that is not the case. So let's grab ourselves some coal. Turn you into blocks. So we should be able to make 3 from this, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we should be able to make 3 generators for now. So let's, we also need to make some furnaces. So let's grab ourselves a couple of stacks of cobblestone so we can actually make compressed cobblestone, turn you into, oh bugger, I forgot about the dev null. So let me grab the golden bag of holding for the time being, put the dev null in there while we're crafting things up. Let's try this again. There we go. So this time it won't be absorbed by the dev null, which is a good thing. So daisy. So we accidentally clicked on there. Let's try that again. There we go. Got some compressed cobblestone, and we only managed to make one furnace. Okay, so apparently I need to get slightly more compressed cobblestone there. Apparently 2 whole stacks is not enough to make 2 furnaces, which I had no idea. There we go. So we got a wee bit more now. So there's a second furnace. We also need a couple of pistons. So can I make them? No, because I need some wood. Can I make some pistons now? No, because I need some iron. There we go. Plenty of iron. Let's try this again. We'll get there eventually, guys. Nope. What am I missing now? So piston. So I got wood. Oh, cobblestone, of course. Always helps if I've got enough cobblestone. I've got compressed cobblestone, but not cobblestone. Right. Let's try it now. There we go. 2, 3 pistons. Perfect. Right, so we should be able to then... what are we missing? Oh yeah, we need some more redstone chipsets, and then we should have everything we need to get ourselves a generator underway. Okay, so let's grab... There we go, we've got 3 already, so we've almost got enough to make a second generator. But there we go, our first furnace generator. Woo, we're really cooking with coal now, so to speak. Okay, so we'll probably want to put these on like the back wall, and then so what we're going to do is if we put the item ducts along here, it should automatically spew out charcoal from the top, which it is doing, and put it in the furnace generator. Excellent. And then what we can then do is if we find ourselves a LVY connector, we can then hook you up to the rest of the system, which should then start providing power to everything else. Okay, whoops-a-daisy. Perfect. Okay, so that will start to gain more power once we've stopped using certain things, so just kind of patch up my hole in the ground here. Okay, there we go. So the furnace generator is kind of underway. It isn't producing too much power yet, but we've only got one of them up and running. And like I said, I'll probably add like a whole kind of like suite of these along the wall. So maybe add in like, put in, I don't know, I'll basically see how many I can fit with the LVY connector, but I should be able to fit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 along like kind of each thing. So I should be able to get like 20 or so, or maybe even more if I kind of branch them out along and stuff like that as well. But we'll see how it goes. So I think we should have a fairly sustainable amount of charcoal here. We seem to be kind of filling up quite nicely, so that's pretty good. So yeah, I'll leave the episode here for now. As always, guys, don't forget to comment and like if you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.